I have never seen so many people in the most extraordinary cosplay. And there was a Spider-Man dangling off a wall of a random building that I don't think was anything to do with the con, but it looks amazing. So. It was a very emotional time because we'd only just started and we were in something that felt, you guys knew before me how special Doctor Who is and will continue to be. But it was at that point where we realised that it isn't, we were having so much fun, but then with the storyline of the Rosa episode, that television can be so impactful and powerful, but when you're in it, all I remember thinking was that Vanette Robinson was doing the most extraordinary performance. And so when you're just in scenes with other actors who can blow you away, that's the most magical thing and all the design element of it. But then in watching it, as part of that, what I thought was so incredible was Sagan, the composer's music, but also the song choices that were used within that episode to really elevate it. And it felt very special when we watched it because I just feel that everybody's work shone, but then also it kind of introduced people, younger children, I think, to a moment in history that a younger audience might not have known about, which is, essential everyone does. And I think that was beautiful that television can do that. So I'm English. So it's really hard to say what my first introduction is because I've always known your vocabulary is peppered with words that I wasn't brought up in a Whovian house, but it still was like, bloody hell, it's like a TARDIS in there. There was always, the words were always a part of your vernacular and vocabulary without necessarily watching it. But I suppose my real introduction is being on a different set with David Tennant, and anywhere he went, there was lots of wonderful people, absolutely just in awe of him everywhere you went. And we were like, oh, he's quite popular, David, isn't he? So I think that was my kind of first professional introduction to it, because also, Arthur was in that show as well, Broadchurch. But then as a kid, it's there. It's just there. Yeah. I think the joy of this television show that I've been lucky enough to be a part of is that when we work with extraordinary writers, because obviously Chris Shipley was the showrunner, Russell is the showrunner, but there is a team of voices who come in and can take these characters into different worlds, different dimensions, different conflicts, all of those things, and you are given, I suppose as a writer, this joyous Pandora's box to enter into. If that then does lead into, like you were saying, a kind of the historical element or an educational version of it, I think there's absolutely a world for that. But I feel as if the development of where the show always goes, whether it's in reference to what's gone before or if it's brand new, it's just, that's the joy of this, that it can always homage, but it can always move forward, as I think is the joy and why it has so many amazing Doctor Who fans of all different generations, because it has elements for everybody. I adored him. I tell you what, I wish, I don't think it would have been as magical had there been behind the scenes cameras at this moment. But I wish there was a camera to video our response from his transition from O into the Master, because we'd shot it all in order. So not the beats of this episode we had him, but he'd only been O. And I knew him from before, and we were all really good mates. We'd spent, we keep going to South Africa. We're so bloody lucky. So we were filming there, we were filming back in Cardiff, we were doing all this fun stuff. And then in the last few days of that episode shooting, he did the scene where he reveals himself on the plane. And it was mind-bogglingly amazing. That's a terrible sentence, but we all kind of went, what? And that was the moment when I realised I'm going to get upstaged in every scene I'm in with him. There was one bit, there's one episode, I can't remember, oh God, it's all so blurry, I can't remember what episode it was now, but I just was mute and I wasn't able to speak, and he got this amazing monologue, and I was like, oh my God, I felt like I was in a masterclass. Just like, I was supposed to be like acting kind of like, oh, but I was like going, oh my God. And even like the clapper loader, like one of the camera loaders came over to him and was just like, that was like the best thing I've ever seen. And I was like, he's a brilliant, and he's a top bloke. Most importantly, he's a top bloke. There's just so many, the friends that you make, the moments that you kind of share, the wonderful ensemble nature of some of those scenes where you think it's about one thing and then you see this incredible costume or this incredible stunt or this amazing interaction between two characters. But I think the thing that will always stand out for me, because when people are scheduling, they just think about budget, location, and practicalities. They don't go, that might be someone's first 3 days as the doctor. Is that the wisest thing to put them on a crane? And so when I got the schedule, I was like, I'm sorry, what? But I have to say, as introductions to a role, filming the crane sequence and the hero speech and the jump between as the first times you've ever played this dream role was incredible and will stay with me forever, because the rope didn't break and I did manage to dangle between, because it is pretty terrifying. From someone who's gone from like running on a beach crying to jumping across cranes, it's a big leap. Not just metaphorically, it's literally a big leap. It was so exciting because in the same series, obviously you had the master. So everyone had this thing that this was the moment of the series. And so it was as if that was going to be the headline. And so when that episode aired, I have to say, shooting the moment where I turned round and saw Jo for the first time in her costume and having that interaction with her as she says who she is, it was incredible. And she is an absolute amazing actress. It was an absolute dream to work with. But also, she loves Doctor Who. So it was like massive on so many levels. But then knowing that had zero spoilers on the lead up to it was just brilliant, because that's the most frustrating thing, is when things get leaked and things get drip fed, because it's infuriating and pointless, and it doesn't matter, just wait. Whoever has that info that's managed to find that out, keep it to your bloody self, because there's so much hard work goes into it. But for you as a fan, how amazing is it to have a rug pull? It's just brilliant. And and so being the first female doctor and finishing my season not being the only female doctor was a dream. Mm-hmm. I hope so. I mean, I think I'm just a bit keen, because every time I get asked, I'm like, yes, please. Russell, yes, please. But I've been asked at every con since I've left, will I come back? And I've said really over-enthusiastically yes. Still haven't had the call, guys. I went to a gig with some mates in Cardiff, about, I think it was in like November. And so I was like, "You filming Doctor Who?" I was like, "No, but if I was, this is very unsubtle. I'm at a gig." But I love Cardiff. I love the Doctor, and I think I would be an excellent contributing factor. So hopefully at some point, if I can get back in my costume.
We hope you enjoyed these panel highlights from DragonCon. That's all we can show you here. But if you want to see the full panel and much more, go to dragoncon.tv. You can sign up for a membership for $10 to see panels from the most recent DragonCon and years past. And this isn't $10 a week or a month. It's $10 for a 1-year membership. So check out dragoncon.tv, and of course come back to Fandom Spotlight for more panel highlights and full panels from many other conventions. Enjoy!
That video was delicious. And good for you too. I know, I'm a doctor. And I'm also poor, which is hilariously funny because you'll never see a poor doctor. Trust me and subscribe already. Have fun and eat another video.